Oh, here I am. I was almost late to my own party. Today we're giving away money. 9 million people in the house. How is everybody? Let me bring up the chat to see who all is here. All right. Jessa is the first name I see. Napoleon's Dead Family, how are you? Anime Reyes, nice to see you. Maloma is here. Good evening, good evening. Glenda Montero is in the house. RD Vlog. God Repairs is here. At number 13. Madeline Reyes, thanks. Thanks so much, Madeline. She worked so hard cheering me out. Uh, Jean Zell, Jean God has stopped by. Sweet and spicy, sassy and saucy. Mama is here. Who else? Alien Cruise official has stopped by to say hi. I hope you can see me okay. And bro, Manuel Soriano. Oh, welcome in everybody. And I may have forgotten one or two of you. I do apologize, but appreciate you nonetheless for your support. Helium is here. Annie Avancena, Senna, and bro, brother-in-law, Mass Mix Adventure in the house. And his beautiful daughter, I'm sure, is close by. Hi, Coach. How are you? Well, we're here. You know why? Because it's our weekly giveaway. Three of you will win pesos 333. That's three. We'll win 333. And how are we going to do it today? We're going to do it by using the random number generator. And you know, it would be really cool to do this. Do it this way. The number of people that are in the house, that's going to be the upper limit of our random number generator. So let's say there's 11 million people in the house. Oh, Yanarine is here. Hello, Yanarine. Let's just say that there are 11 when we do the first game. Then I will go from 1 to 11. So the numbers will be 1 to 11. Or in the case, 1 to 13. Or if we have 35 people in the house or 35 million, we'll go to 1 to 35. We're going to do it like that. That should be interesting. And so the way we do it is you pick a number between 1 and whatever I say the upper limit is, and you only get one guess. It's one channel, one guess, one person, one guess. No, that doesn't mean you get a guess for your channel and your person. It's just one guess period, which means that if there are 13 people in the house, then I should only see 13 guesses up there when we get around to doing that. Happy Friday evening, everyone from Ottawa, Canada, wherever you are in the world. Welcome in, Mike. Thanks for being here. I want to talk about a couple of things. You know, the last few days, I've been showing you what's been going on with the House bill. And so we had the engineer come out. I just met with him a few moments before airtime here, and he said everything is looking great. Now, I just wanted to share a few numbers with you so you guys get an idea of what it costs in order to do this, right? We ended up spending quite a bit of money getting the fill dirt to the site because it's basically swampland. We're trying to reclaim it. So there were certain parts of the property they sit pretty low, and in those low spots, Tim is here. Hi, Tim. How are you? In those low spots, of course, you end up getting a pond, and in those ponds, the frogs love it. The frogs love it, especially the bullfrogs, because I hear them every night gallivanting around, especially after a rainstorm. And so we have to get rid of all that. And how you do it is you put fill dirt and you put rocks in there. And so we went heavy on river rocks. Now, why do we use river rocks? Because we know that we can, by the time it's level, the way that we want it, we're going to have to come in with another 20 or 30 truckloads of 3/4 inch gravel. Yeah, Mike, we were able to get it out. Basically, we just kept having to throw dirt in the holes until finally it grabbed. So it took a while. It took 30 to 40 minutes to get the loader out of there, but we did get it out of there. The future. Here's what the future looks like. Oh, cost. Before I go on too far, you saw what it was all about. You know, each truckload was something like 6 cubic yards. and each cubic yard, let's see, every truckload of 6 cubic yards was running us 3,000 pesos and per load. And I shopped around. I shopped around for the best deal that I could find, and that was the best deal that I could find. So the engineer just went over there and took a look at it, and he says, we're off to a great start. He likes the way it's looking. And so we were able to get it up to at least level with the road. But truth be told, the house, we want it above the level of the road. And so we have another 1 or 2 feet to go. But before we do that, before you put in any more fill or any more 3/4 inch rock, you have to set the foundation. In order to set the foundation, you have to get approval from the planning department. You have to draw your permits. And so that's what the next step is. So I've been working back and forth with them on the plans. And as it goes, when you're collaborating, you start thinking about different things that are going on, and that usually results in changes to the plan. So that we're on our third incarnation, right? Our third version, I should say, of the plan drawings. And, you know, certain things should have been obvious to both of us. They were aha moments. For example, I woke up in the middle of the night and I realized that the bedrooms were facing the wrong direction. So the sun, it rises in the east and it sets in the west. And so what ends up happening is if you have bedrooms, they're 3 in a row with windows, and they're all facing the sunrise. What did Tim say? All he had to do was put bucket down. Yeah, he tried it a couple times. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Mike, you and I are great thinkers think alike, right? He did. He tried to put the bucket down a couple times, and it wasn't coming out of there. Tim is saying above the road so you don't get as much flooding. That's right. That's what we're trying to achieve. And Filipina Mel is here. Shani Raza is here. Hello, hello. Great by Glinda Montero. All right, so on with the rest of the story. I apologize if I don't say hello. So anyway, we tried a couple things to get him out of there, but we have to set the foundation, and which means the plans have to be submitted. And so we ran into Maniel was here. We ran into the problem where I realized by waking up in the middle of the night, by having some kind of nightmarish kind of dream, that the rooms were on the wrong side of the house. So I called them up. You know, something about getting a phone call in the middle of the night. Yeah, I don't think he was too happy about that. But nonetheless, he's a very nice guy, a very nice engineer. And I said, they're on the wrong side of the house. You have to flip the plan over. And so he realized that I was right. He realized that they were on the wrong side of the house. You can't have the sun coming up through the bedroom windows, and you know why, because that'll prompt you to turn on the air conditioner. It has to be in the shadow of our other home, right? Our home that we live in now. It has to be in the shadow of it so that the sun is facing the house, right? Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? You got to put it out of harm's way. And the reason why is because of the mistake we made with this house. The kitchen has to be facing the morning sun because the kitchen gets used the least in the daytime, in the morning for breakfast, because people are coming out and they're generally not firing up stoves and things like that. What they're doing is they're grabbing a bowl of cornflakes, pouring some powdered milk over it, and they're enjoying their cornflakes before they head off to school, college, or work, right? Are you guys following me? Is anybody here interested in this story? And then at night, in the evening, when the sun sets in the west, then the next thing that happens is people fire up the kitchen for dinner. Mike married, hi Tim, Anna, Mel, Shaney, Manuel and Glenda, Manny, Philly, Yen Arena's here, Moelma. So that when the sun is setting, it falls into the shadow of the house that we live in. Tim says not interested at all. All right. So that the sun sets in the shadow of the house, the opposite side, so that you have a kitchen that's fired up for dinner and and heats the rest of the house up, right? That's the time that it should be hot when the sun is setting, And then in the morning, so there you go. So the bedrooms have been moved now over to facing our house, the house we're currently living in. So the other thing I want to talk about was that he wants to do the whole deal, right? He is estimated as the contractor. He wants to do the whole deal, but it's a big number, It's a huge number, and I have to think about it. But for right now, he's just going to do the plans, and he's going to do the permit process because he's very well known in the city, and he could help get it through. It's going to take about 6 or 8 weeks to get the approval on the plans. He's well known, and there's something about having somebody that's very, very well known do the plans for you, so they kind of babysit them as they're going through the planning process. And the engineers know them, and so they just, call them up and say, hey, on this plan, you forgot to do this, or you need to add that, and then he'll be good to go. It'll be seamless. And so, if you've never done this, the plans and the permitting process are going to run you somewhere between. I'll give you a rough guesstimate, somewhere between 30 and 50,000 pesos. That's what you're looking at to get a set of final plans. I just want to let you know what kind of money that we're looking at. So, estimate to build this particular house, I don't mind sharing it with you. To have him do it, you're looking at about 2.6 million. Now, I think Energy is here. Hello, Energy. Claire is here. So I think it ran us to build this house. I think it was, let's see, it was 2, 4, 6, 8. It was about 72,000 American dollars. So by the time we were all done with it, it probably was 5 million by the time we were done building this house. And so we were over budget by at least 15, maybe even 20 thousand pesos. I'm not proud to say, or 20,000 American dollars. So I'm not proud to say that we went over budget by about, a million. It could have even been 1.5 million, something like that. 30 to 50K is pocket change for you, Dan. Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say that I can handle it, but I wouldn't say that it's pocket change by any stretch of the imagination. I definitely can handle it. So now, if I do it myself, I probably can do it for about 1.7 million. And Des is here. Hi, Des. How are you? Question: why don't you want the sun coming into the bedrooms in the morning? Oh, because they'll turn on the air conditioners. They'll turn on the AC units. It'll heat them up really fast. The sun is really intense. And even though we have a plan for breaking it up, by using bamboo decorations and different things, it still will heat them up on that side of the house. And so really this is all going to depend on, how well the Hardy Flex and the, what do they call it, the rock wool do for, acting as barriers, heat barriers, because we're not using hollow block. That was the other thing. Marissa's here. Gloria's here. Gallardo from Pinky Gray. Pink must be close. Pink must be close by. So, Marissa. So anyway, the other thing, let's see. If we do it ourselves, it's a pain, but I can do it. In other words, I think I can manage it. And so I'll be talking to a few people this weekend to see what their skill sets are, to see if it's a viable option. Now, I've been watching some people, that come into the stream, and I've asked them if they wouldn't mind coming over and taking a look to see if they would be interested in helping out with this project. And that will serve as whether, whatever the outcome is, probably will give me more of an idea of whether I should hire this guy and pay him the 2.6 or whether I can do it myself or with a crew for about 1.7. So you don't really know, you don't really need a full crew for this type of a house because anime, it's not a hollow block house. Huh? Everybody always is shocked. No hollow block? You've lost your mind. But they're not building modern homes in the Philippines. They're building a combination house that is concrete and hardy flex. And so hollow blocks are going to become a thing of the past. In 5 years from now, I don't think you're going to see anybody using hollow block in the building of homes here in the Philippines because they have the same wind rating as hollow block. They don't transfer heat. They don't retain heat. They disperse it. They're UV friendly. They are paint friendly, and then you have that Vienna Condish, you have that vapor barrier, or you have a break, a heat break in there. Because if you use metal for your studs instead of wood, if you use metal and get rid of the hollow block, then you're limiting heat transfer. It needs a break, and so it'll be way cooler on the inside of the house. So that is as good of a thing as I could come up with. A lot of people are building their homes like that in the Philippines. So now I want to talk about excavators. So he was talking, Hardy Flex is about 10 millimeter thick. That's right. It's thick. JC Vlog is here. So I want to try it. I've been wanting to build this kind of a house for a very long time. I don't want to be deprived of my dream. If we build a house like this and it works, well, I'd be so happy. You know what I mean? And Angela Maria's here, Villanueva. How are you, Angela? Thanks for coming. All right, so now I don't know. Then it could turn out to be a disaster. For example, it also means I will have to hire an excavator when it gets down to the foundation work. They have to dig. I would not do it with manpower. It's silly to do it with manpower. Well, we're going to use rock wool. It's very common in Canada. Lorraine is here. So John Ray is here. Tim, we're going to use rock wool, the same stuff they use in Canada to insulate. We're not going to use fiberglass. We're using rock wool. And it's available here in Mandawi and Cebu. Yes, we'll do that, Angela, but I'm not by my I don't have us up on our phone here yet. I don't know why I don't. Let me see. Angela Marie. I have to find myself. I am lost. I must find myself. Dan and Minnie's journey. Okay. A box of rocks or GCASH? Commercial. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought it was fun to say that. All right. I think you're cool, Angela Marie. Who else did I miss? Angela Marie. Anybody I missed? I saw Glory was there. Marissa was there. Matt as moderator. Marissa, LTC supports. You're good to go. Who else is here? Someone else is here. If you put your name in there, I will take care of you. All right. I don't think hollow blocks will ever be replaced because people build up till no money left and save to build. But you could do that with Hardy Flex, Mike, and it's cheaper. Especially from a labor perspective, it's very, very friendly. So I'm thinking it's going to replace it. And plus, it's just they're just too bulky to move around, you know. So now I don't think you'll ever replace a native house. And I want to talk about that a little bit. That's for sure, Mel. Okay, did you know that if you build a native house in the Philippines, a building permit is only required in certain circumstances? And helium, they did that to preserve Filipino culture. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I found that out and I was like, what? So let's say you want to build a native house using only native materials. You don't have to go and get a building permit from the city. Did anybody in here know that? I'll bet you a lot of you do know that because this is your country. Excavators. So to rent an excavator in a man to operate it, or a woman for that matter, is 1,800 pesos per hour. Oh, Carolina, Sapanta Cruz is here. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. So that's a lot of do re mi, and it takes, from what I understand, it takes 2 days to excavate for the foundation. So that's 2 days to excavate. So that's how much? 30,000 pesos to rent an excavator. Whoo! Lorraine, that is a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. And so I got to think about this for a while. Do I want to go through all this, or do I want to hire the guy who has all the equipment and make it hassle free for 2.6 million? Or do I want to take a chance to get it done for only 1.7? Yeah, Pinky Gray always comes through, Mike. She always does. She has such great subscribers that give her tremendous amounts of support. It's amazing to go in there and see. I think Pinky Gray is probably responsible for 2,000 of my subscribers easily, at least 2,000. So I mean, they're very, very supportive. And I try and do my best to go in and subscribe to their channel also. And I'll say a little hello to let them know that I'm there. Jerry from South Texas is here. All right. So I want to talk about, since we're talking about money, Minnie and I recently, we were going over the household budget. And of course, you can't hide from the fact that things are getting more expensive here in the Philippines. You wouldn't want me to lie to you, would you? We've had to increase our monthly household budget here by 6,000 pesos per month because we kept coming up short every single month. And Jason is here. Hi, Jason. How are you? JC Vlog. That would be the Des and Jason show. So that's troubling to me. It really is, because you have the exchange rate impacting the monthly budget significantly. I think Anna helps you so much. Oh, of course she does. Oh, that goes without saying that Anime takes care of the Facebook page. I really appreciate it, Anime. I think Anime knows how much I appreciate her help. Yeah, I talk to her at least, once or twice or 15 times per day. Tim says Bavarian cream donuts have gone up in price. Yeah, and so I think there's certain things that you have to cut out of your budget. You have to make choices. And so I was thinking, I've noticed that without even thinking of it, I stopped buying a lot of crap. And Bavarian cream donuts is one of them. I'm not saying they're crap, they're delicious. But I'm saying I've had to cut back. But it's not having any impact on my weight whatsoever. I still am gaining. And I think that has to do with fiestas every month. There's a fiesta. We get invited over to somebody's barangay. Next thing you know, we're eating all kinds of lechon baboy and frog legs and snails and things I can't recognize. Sea creatures. see creatures that I've never seen before anywhere else in the world except here in the Philippines. And that causes me to gain weight. You know, I don't know how many different recipes I have tried. You know, chicken feet made 100 different ways would be a good recipe book, I would say. Dan, too much red horse. No, I actually have backed off on the beer quite a bit. You know, I actually don't drink as much as I used to, and so, but that will have an effect on your budget. You know, and the Big G Mill says, "I'm cooking dinner." There you go, talking about food, making me hungry. And if somebody puts food in front of me, someone puts food in front of me, I don't turn it down. I eat it. You know, I eat it. I know she's in the background building. If I was a blogger, I would hire her too. Oh, so Mike, you're a funny guy. All right, let's talk about the budget. $100 or maybe $110. 6,000 pesos monthly increase, and so that's hard to take. And then let's see. And also, I wanted to talk a little bit about my idea that there's going to be, first of all, you know, there's a lot of talk in the USA about, you know, about the cost of stuff increasing the same as it is here in the Philippines. They're suffering very badly, right? Yeah, that's right. No, you're Filipino. You never say no to food. Absolutely not. It's rude, Mike, right? So people here are used to a VAT tax, 12% VAT tax. They don't know anything about it in the United States, but it's coming to a country near you. Remember I made that prediction? I found more evidence today that somebody is proposing a VAT tax. So we'll have to see how that all works out. So they're just going to move things around a little bit. Instead of calling it an income tax, they're going to institute a VAT tax. No more income tax, but you'll get it at the store. And this keeps everybody happy. Why? No, everybody will be so thrilled they don't pay income tax anymore that they'll slide that VAT tax right on in there, right? And plus, no one likes it when the Internal Revenue Service shows up at your door looking for your tax revenue. Pinky Gray is here. Thank you, Pinky Gray, so much for your support. And so, also, one more thing. This is how you can give the rich a teeny tiny tax increase, like a one percentage point or 1/10 of 1%, while still collecting more in tax, right, from them in the middle class. It's because when you go and you buy things, you will be paying this 12% tax, and income tax will become a thing of the past. It's just like the Philippines model. People here don't file income tax. The country, only the rich do. We have both in Canada, same as in the USA, Mike says. So now the other thing is that, you know, they want to do away with the IRS because because they have it seems as though, you know, they have a hidden agenda, and public perception of internal revenue agents isn't so great in the United States. Here, you don't have any such animal here. Nobody knows what internal revenue is. You know what BIR is, and you know exactly what they're there for. But no guy in a suit wearing a strap-on gun comes to the front door saying, "Pay us or else." Mike says we pay 30% of things we buy in stores. And Mike, you reminded me of something else that's kind of loosely connected to this. And this will be my last subject before we go on and we start doing the first contest for the money. And that is that you remember that, Michael probably remember this. So we have these things, guys, they were called 99-cent stores, and they were all over the USA. You could go in there and you could buy crap, any kind of crap you wanted for $1 or less, right? Which means you could buy a spatula. You could buy soda. You could buy a candy bar. You could buy all kinds of different junk. Cereal for your kids to eat the next morning at 99 cents. And then they all disappeared. Even after they had news report after news report in the United States that, everything is, we know that we have a declining, or we know inflation is here because everybody is rushing to the 99-cent store in order to buy groceries. That was a phenomena that really surprised me. And then it started to make sense. So they started going there buying everyday items in the 99-cent store. And the 99-cent store kept stocking more and more food, more and more groceries, milk, ice cream, all the stuff that you buy at the regular grocery store. And it was stressing the big chain markets. And the problem is that the model failed. As Mike points out here, the dollar stores are now up to $5. And so now, as soon as they started to increase prices, people stopped going there. When they stopped going there and spending their money, they went out of business. And of course, tariffs and all this stuff come into play. What is funny is the cashier calling out a price check in the 99-cent store. Price check, please. It's 99. But the reason why I'm bringing this up in this Filipino chat, right, is because it's happening here. Except 99 peso store is actually a $2 store. And so it has a better chance of succeeding because you're already starting. When you see 99, as you're going down, as you're in the Jeep or you're in the trike or the put, you're going down the road and you say, it says 99 peso store. First of all, if you've seen this store, 99 peso store, put a 1 in the chat because I'll be shocked and surprised if you have totally ignored seeing those signs that are popping up everywhere. 99 peso store, but 99 pesos is not 99 cents. 99 cents in the States is $1, $1 bill. And here, 99 pesos is $2, right? So that means that is not a bargain. That is not a bargain. That's two pesos. It's the equivalent of $2. And so, thing is, that concept is from the U.S. and it most likely will not work here in the Philippines. But they're showing up. They're starting to show up. They think that they're going to, take a chunk out of a history of the U.S. and run with it for a while. Mike says the dollar store in the USA has more food, even frozen meat. Not in Canada, no frozen food. Wow, that is interesting. But like I said, those classic 99-cent stores are out of business now in the West. You had a whole chain that was west of the Mississippi, Mike, and they're all gone. They're out of business. So expats here, foreigners, are screaming just like Filipinos are that the price of goods and services is going crazy. And that is happening because the dollar is weak right now, but rising. And as soon as the United States comes full circle implementing all these new taxes and things like that, you'll see the dollar back in its form. It's strong. It'll be the reserve currency. Nothing is going to change there. The reason why it won't change there is because they'll just threaten sanctions or tariffs against the country that wants to go with, let's say, the BRICS program. Mike, have you noticed nobody has talked about the BRICS, getting the BRICS? Nobody has said we're going to go to a different reserve currency. Why aren't they talking like that? Do you think India right now will come out and say, oh, yeah, we're dumping the dollar for the BRICS? Ha! I just laughed. Remember we talked about this a year ago and I said it ain't going to happen? But I didn't know how they were going to put pressure on India. And now we know. They're going to say, if you're going to go with the BRICS, we're going to put tariffs all over you. And so you can't trade with the United States at all. The store's went out of business because Dan is not. I used to shop there all the time, Tim. Last week, let's talk about the winners from last week. We had Phil John, we had Abby G, and we had Des. Now, I've seen Des in the house, but if Abby G or Phil John are here, I have missed seeing them. Now, do you know how this game is played? We have 29 people in the house, 29 folks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Google random number generator. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I have to go to my homepage. Okay, Google random number generator. All right, it pops right up. See, it's right here. Oh, you can't really see it because there's too much light in here. But anyway, I set this up for a minimum of 1 and then a maximum of 31. So basically what that means is, so minimum of 1, a number 1, and maximum of 31 because there are 31 people in the chat. Mike says, I tried to live on 500 pesos a day and I couldn't live on it. I know for a fact that I would not be able to do it, Mike. You know, cannot be done. I cannot do it. All right, now, when I put in the chat to go ahead and guess, then you take one guess and guess a number between 1 and 31. And then I hit this random number generator. And if your number comes up, if you're the first one in the chat to have guessed that number, then you win the pesos 333. But you only get one guess, and you have to be willing to play fair. So now I set this up for minimum of 1 and a maximum of 31. No, wait a minute. I'm changing the rules. I don't mean to confuse you, but what we're going to do is, I think last week I found out that you're going to guess first what number you think is going to come up. You're going to guess first, and then I'll go to the random number generator. That's sneaky, huh? That makes it even more fun, I think. So I'm going to my channel again. Let me bounce back into my channel. Let me see, where is it? I should have a whole bunch of phones set up here for on the YouTube channel. But I don't. Let's see. Dan and Minnie's Journey. Dan and Minnie's Journey. All right. Back in the chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, so we're looking for a number between 1 and 31 that you're going to guess. You're only going to start guessing when I put start in the chat, which I'm going to do any moment now. So see, as soon as you see start in the chat next to our name, our channel name, you may start guessing a number between 1 and 31 for a chance to win 333 pesos. So I'm doing it now. So as soon as you see it show up there in the chat, you may start guessing. Wow, that's fast. And now I'm going to call the guessing by putting stop inside the chat, the comment section, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now I'm going back to the random number generator. And I've set this up, like I said, for a number between 1 and 31. And I'm generating the number. I wish I could show it on camera, but it's too bright. It doesn't show up. I have too many lights here. And I'm generating the number, and I'll tell you what the winning number here in a second. Oh, I cannot believe this. The heck, you guys, look, I don't know if you can see it or not. The winning number from 1 to 31 is number 13. Number 13 keeps coming up over and over again. So tell me, do we have a winner? Do we have a winner at number 13? I'm going to wait a second here. Who was the first person to guess number 13? Shaylee, Perry Shaylee. Did I say that right? Perry Shaylee. You won pesos 333. This is your lucky day. Perry Shaylee. Now here's the thing. In order for me to get your GCASH number, you have to send me a private message. You have to send a message to Messenger. So here's my name if you don't have it. Or do you have my contact information? You probably have it. But you send me your GCASH number to my Messenger. That's Daniel Herrera. Just like your third grade teacher's name. Daniel Herrera. Congratulations. And it's as easy as that. Isn't that great? Isn't that grand? Okay, now here's the rest of the story. The rest of the story is that now that you won, you've been eliminated. And so, oh, thank you. So now you sent it. That's great. Oh, yeah, I see it. Thank you so much. So now here it is. Now you're eliminated for the last 2 rounds. So we're going to do the next 2 right now. All right. Mary Ann is laughing. I'm laughing too. I'm so disorganized. So now we have 31 people in the chat again. And so we're going to do it again. We're going to choose a number from between 1 and 31. And so I'm about ready to enter start into the comments section. And you may guess see if you have another chance to win 333. When you see start appear in the chat, then all Mike is saying, I'm at awe that in the Philippines, many families live on less than 500 pesos. If you visit, they will feed you. That's why I say I'm full. I may be wrong. Oh, yeah, I never thought of that. But, oh my gosh, I'm so selfish. I always eat when I'm invited to somebody's house. I should bring something at least, right? I should bring a pig or something, right? Oh, wait. I did bring a pig. That would be me. No, I mean, I should, when invited to somebody's house, you should always probably take something. That's how you balance things out. All right, so now, when you see start again inside the chat, please guess a number between 1 and 31. It's coming down the pike any moment. As soon as you see it in there, then you may start guessing. Oh, everybody's guessing. Wow, you guys are fast. All right, I'm about ready to enter the stop command. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop guessing. Well, you guys did. You stopped guessing a long time ago. And now I'm going back to the random number generator, and we're going to do it again. Now, I should have mentioned this before. The possibility is that number 13 can come up again, right? The possibility is there because it's a random number generator. You never know what number is going to appear, right? All right, I'm generating the number now. Here it goes. The winning number this time is 17. I think you could see, I'm trying to see, it looks like you can see it on camera. Number 17. All right, I'll wait a few seconds to see if we have a winner. Number 17 is the number that came up. Manny O. Congratulations. Manny O is the winner of Pesos 333. 47 minutes into the live stream. It's Manny O. Okay, Manny, do the same. Send me a message with your GCASH. So all I got to do is just send this straight out to you right after the live stream is over. So far, we've had a winning number with 13, Perry Shea Lee. And then Manny just won by selecting the number 17. Filipina Mel says, oh my God, I chose that number early because it's my daughter's 17th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to her. Marianne is here. Happy birthday, Mel's daughter. All right. Without further ado, Manio is a winner, and Manio will take a back seat now to allow someone else the opportunity to win. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do contest number 3, the final one of the evening. Final one of the evening. When you see start appear in the chat, you may start guessing a number between 1 and now it's 29. Between 1 and 29 are the perimeters. That's 1 to 29. Are you ready? Here we go. 1 to 29 is being entered right now. Go, 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 go. Get your best guess in. And now, stop guessing in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. And I'm going to the random number generator. And the perimeters that we set for this time around was a number between 1 and 29. And I am generating. Oh, a solid number. The winning number this time around is number 5. Number 5. Do we have a winner chicken dinner at number 5? I will wait a second to see if we have a winner. And Anna May says it's God Repairs. Congratulations. God Repairs is the winner. Oh, man. I thought God Repairs. I thought you were going to. What number did you choose? I thought you were going to choose number 13, God Repairs. But no, you chose number 5 for 333 pesos. So make sure you send me your GCash number just to make sure that I have it. Send it to my chat messenger. And if you don't know where to find me, someone in here does. You'll have a friend in here, and they will send the link to your phone. God Repairs, congratulations with number 5. Perry Shea Lee with number 13. And Manny O, what do you know, with number 17. Congratulations to all the winners. Is man Minnie here? Manny. I don't know if she can hear me. We have guests over right now. I don't know if she's... Manny. My goodness gracious. It is a little bit early. She probably was waiting a few more minutes. Anyway, Manny wishes all the winners congratulations. And she says hi. She misses you all. And we'll see you on the next live. Take care. We'll see everybody later. Bye-bye. We're out.